I spoke to you last year.
You did,
We did an interview last year, and you admitted you were in a very bad place at that
I
point.
was, and I had a breakdown earlier this year as well, you know, the early part of this year, and I was in marriage for a long time and was very happy, and sometimes things just come to a natural end, and that's the way it was, and it made me really sad, you know, through neither of us faults at all. It just was the end of an era, I suppose, and I didn't deal with it that well.
And when you look at all those pictures we've just seen there, all that backstory, all the
God,
press...
some of those outfits as well, terrible.
What do you think of that girl that was in EastEnders, that young, lovely girl who had the world at her feet, and then what happened in your life?
You know, I've just gone back to doing therapy again, actually. Quite a lot of intense therapy, because I think you can never stop working on yourself, and if you want to prevent things happening in your life, you need to keep moving on and moving forward. But when I look at that time, it's a really sad time. But I do feel very blessed that I'm still here. And I am ashamed that I made a huge mistake with relapse and everything. And
well, you shouldn't be ashamed you had a relapse. At least you've admitted it.
Yeah, I do. And I do feel ashamed, and I do feel that for my weakness a lot of the time. I do feel ashamed about that.
But Daniella, if you're an addict, you're an addict.
And I'll always be an addict.
You can't keep apologising about being an addict, can you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I think I have to keep that at the forefront of my mind, or you know, if I don't, it's a very dangerous place for me.
When you said, you know, I'm grateful to still be here.
Yeah.
Did you come close to death? I mean, were there times when you didn't want to live anymore?
Oh, there's been a lot of times I've felt that way. I mean, you know, most actors and comedians and everything, we're very depressive people anyway, you know, in this industry. And I've always been that way from a child. I've always been very up or very down and very depressive. And people always think they know me because I talk to everybody and I'm very easygoing and, you know, I tell everybody everything they want to hear, I suppose. But there's only very few people that do know me. And I isolate a lot. As much as I'm very much out there and I'm seen out and I'm doing things, I do isolate a lot in my own time. Yeah, that's not a good place for me either, really. So I'm very lucky that I've got my very good friends around me that know when I'm isolating and come and just take me, let myself in.
Have they been with you all the way through it,
My best friend who's with me today, she's been my best friend since I was 4. My first day at school, she was a year above me, so they gave me her to look after me, and she's been doing it still. She's still doing it now at 42. So, yeah, she's been there all the way through. And there's been times when I was really ill that I've isolated and kept myself away from her because she doesn't do the things I do.
And do you think, because reading about you, you know, you seem to have a lovely childhood, loving parents...
Yeah, I lived like the American dream.
And it seemed to all come crashing down once, because you were very young, weren't you, when you found fame?
Yeah, I mean, I started in the industry at 7. I've been working from 7. I don't ever really remember having a birthday party or anything like that. I've always been the workhorse in my family and still am. And that's just my role.
But do you think getting it all at such a young age, like was it 16 or something you joined?
16, I went to EastEnders, yeah.
And so that's like overnight fame, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean,
massive.
I always say this, and my kids go, Mum, you're so prehistoric. I was like, back then there was only 4 channels on the telly. Channel 4 was very new. You know, we didn't have mobile phones. It was a big deal. And, yeah, I sound like 105, and I probably am, but... Yeah, it was a big deal back then. I just didn't know how to deal with it. And, like, Ginny's my best mate. She's with me today. And all my friends were going to college and being normal. And I was like, come on, let's go up the West End. And I used to ring her up and go, guess what? George Michael's here. Get in the car, come up here. She was like, I can't. I've got a bit of college in the morning. It's 2 o'clock.
But a lot of the people you thought were your friends turned out to be the ones that sold all the stories about you.
That's just life. That's people, isn't it? You can't hate on people for it. And I was a target for it, and I set myself up for it. It's part of this job. It's part of the industry. And I'll never really learn that because I think I've always just wanted to be liked and loved by people, and I've just let the wrong people in.
So that's why at this stage you're really hanging on to those dear and nearest to you because of you know, having known them since you were at school. I've got very close friends I've known from school, and you know you've been brought up in Essex, haven't you? Back round the corner from me, and you've come back home, back to your roots, where you feel
I got lost in South London for a little while back there, and I really enjoyed myself. So I have to say, I can't lie. But I'm back in Essex, and like Ginny's been my mate since I was 4. My other best friend Caroline, she's been my mate since I was like 12. And my agent Camilla, I've got 3 really strong women around me that just...
It's important to feel safe.
Kick me into shape everywhere I go.
Now, what's this about you working down a pie and mash shop?
I own a pie and mash shop.
You do?
Listen,
I've got to admit,
my mate Jamie,
I hate pie and mash, but I know that it's really,
I eat way too much pie and mash. I really do. I eat loads. Yeah, there's me putting the rubbish out in the pie and mash shop.
She's working hard. She's making the effort.
I'm just me. I'm an East London girl. I come from a council estate. I'm just That's who I am. Just because I work on the TV, I'm not anything. I've had money, I've had no money, and that's just the way I am. I love a bit of pie mash. It's round the corner from West Ham, so it don't get any better than that. On match days, we get the best-looking fellas in, so yeah, I love it.
What about this industry, though? So you said you've been working in it since you were very young, and you're still hoping to work. You said you're doing two films
I'm still busy, yeah, I'm
next year.
busy working, thank God.
Have you ever thought, or have friends or family ever said to you, you need to step away from that business because that's maybe not good for you being in that environment? Do you think you've conquered that now with...
No, do you know what, Ruth? I don't know. I think I could get myself in trouble on my own in a phone box. I'm just one of them girls that, you know, I don't need a wingman. I can just be in trouble. But no, I think, I don't know. You can't blame an industry. You can't keep blaming everybody else when the problem still lies with you. You have to look at yourself a little bit. And I've been in this industry a long time. Look, I've got a pie mash shop. Only thing I'm good at doing is pulling pints in my best mate's pub or peeling potatoes. Other than that, I'm an actor. I've got no other skills. So it's what I know and it's what I love to do, is act.